Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
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 Hi. I just remember you and Jim and this visual of this
The hopes.
duo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, was so excited to be part of whatever was going on with the two of you.
Should we have invited her for lunch?
No, we're gonna start season 2 of Battlestar Galactica.
Georgie and Mandy's first marriage offers a fresh twist on the classic sitcom formula by exploring an unconventional relationship dynamic that defies long-standing tropes. Set as a spin-off of Young Sheldon, the show features Georgie and Mandy, a couple with a 12-year age gap, highlighting challenges rarely seen in sitcoms where older men with younger women are more common. This unusual setup is more than a gimmick. It subtly challenges stereotypes and adds complexity to their relationship, especially since viewers already know from The Big Bang Theory that their marriage is doomed to fail. Despite moments of harmony, tensions rooted in their age difference and Georgie's struggles to support his family hint at potential reasons for their eventual split, bringing a nuanced take on the pressures faced by mixed-age couples. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage upends a major sitcom trope for the better. Warning, this article contains spoilers for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 4. While Georgie and Mandy's first marriage might seem like a pretty conventional sitcom, Young Sheldon's spin-off secretly upends a major sitcom trope that has lasted for decades. On the face of it, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage comes across as a comparatively traditional family sitcom. With a laugh track, a dysfunctional family, and a sweet but complicated couple at its core, the nostalgic sitcom follows the formula shared by many of the most popular sitcoms from the 1970s through until the 1990s and 2000s. However, as the Young Sheldon spin-off title implies, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has some tricks up its sleeve. For one thing, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is about a couple whose union is canonically doomed to fail. In The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 23, The Sibling Realignment, Georgie's older self mentioned his ex-wife. Thus, even though Young Sheldon's finale left the pair in a pretty happy, stable place, viewers already know that Georgie and Mandy's relationship doesn't ultimately withstand the test of time. There is another element of the show's setup that allows Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to quietly subvert the conventions of family sitcoms. Georgie and Mandy's age gap is one that viewers rarely see. Georgie and Mandy's age gap relationship explained. Georgie and Mandy have a 12-year age gap in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, as Georgie is 18 while Mandy is 30. This is incredibly uncommon in sitcoms, although it is fairly common for male partners to be notably older than their on-screen wives in the genre. This element of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is set up in the events of Season 5, Episode 11, A Lock-In, A Weather Girl, and A Disgusting Habit. In that outing, Mandy and Georgie met while Georgie was working in Mima's laundromat. Desperate to impress, Georgie claimed to be 21 as the pair hit it off. In Season 5, Episode 17, A Solo Peanut, A Social Butterfly and the Truth, Mandy revealed that she was pregnant. Georgie and Mandy struggled with the responsibilities of parenthood and spent some time romantically separated, although Georgie continually attempted to woo his older paramour. Eventually, impressed by his dedication, Mandy realized that she liked Georgie despite his age and immaturity. Although Georgie and Mandy's eventual breakup will eventually see the pair part ways, it didn't become an explicit issue in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage until Season 1, Episode 4, Todd's Mom. Here, Mandy and Georgie were unsettled by two new friendships. Georgie and Mandy's age gap is highly unusual within sitcom history. After she befriended her coworker, Beth, Mandy was horrified when Georgie began hanging out with her colleague's young son, Todd. Much to her chagrin, Georgie and Todd were closer in age than she and Georgie, so it was hard to disapprove of their budding friendship. However, it did inevitably make Mandy feel like a surrogate mother to her husband. What makes this dynamic interesting is the fact that, until now, many sitcom couples had similar age gaps that went largely unnoticed as the genders were reversed. Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil had an 11-year age gap in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sitcom title. Characters. Age gap. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. 11 years. Married. With children. Peggy and Al Bundy. 8 years. King of Queens. Carrie and Doug Heffernan. 5 years. Courting to Jim. Cheryl and Jim. 13 years. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Georgie and Mandy Cooper. 12 years. Modern Family. Gloria and Jay Pritchett. 25 years. There was an 8-year gap between married. With children's Ed O'Neill and Katie Segal, a 5-year gap between Kevin James and Leah Remini in King of Queens, a 13-year gap between According to Jim's lead couple, and a 10-year gap between the Big Bang Theory's central couple. To be fair, the final example made this a little less noticeable in the series, with the canonical age gap between Leonard and Penny being shortened to only 5 years. Shows where the age gap was an established part of their dynamic, like Modern Family's Jay and Gloria, were even bigger. However, it seems fair to assume that the age gap will most likely be a factor in their divorce. This means it may not be an ideal representation for mixed-age couples. The fact that Georgie suffers panic attacks over his inability to provide for his family could be exacerbated by the age gap between himself and Mandy, and the insecure father may feel like his wife needs a partner her own age instead of him. Similarly, young Sheldon's Mandy may feel guilty over the pressures that parenthood and marriage put on the teenage Georgie, which could end Georgie and Mandy's first marriage.